Claire, thank you very much. Well, millions of kids and young adults are heading back to school over the next few weeks, but few will be on a journey like former Hoover football player Ben Abercrombie. Ben, severely injured 2 years ago in his first college football game, is still paralyzed, but he's headed back to Harvard. I spent some time recently with Ben and his family for a candid conversation about Ben's journey. Now, part of what you'll hear in the interview is Ben's ventilator helping him breathe. Because of that, we did add words to the screen so that his message would be clear. How are you feeling today?
Pretty good.
Ben Abercrombie may have bad days, but you'd never know it.
I guess it's better to look at life from or from the light rather than in the darkness. Yeah.
It's that amazing attitude that has Ben ready to go back to college. Before the injury, Ben was attending Harvard on a full academic scholarship. He also went there to play football. But the first game that Ben would play in changed everything. The video is hard to look at, but Ben wants people to see it. Did you know immediately there was something wrong?
Oh, I knew immediately. Yeah, it was kind of like after I hit him, it was kind of like slow motion. Like falling down and like laying there, like I couldn't move. So I was, I knew immediately it was just something I've never felt before. Like the way I hit him, it wasn't like I didn't dip my head or anything. It was just like a freak thing that happened.
Because they didn't think Ben would play so soon as a freshman, Ben's parents, Marty and Sherry, were planning to go to the first home game the next week. So that day, they were watching the game online when Ben was called in to play. Streaming the game through the big screen TV at home, they watched it all happen.
Well, when I saw the hit, I mean, as soon as he got hit, you could tell he just went totally limp. He quickly told them, "I can't breathe."
And the team physician called back within 10 minutes and, let us know then that, they think it's a severe cervical spinal cord injury. And almost, immediately after it happened, I gave my good friend Chris DeGreen, who's a Lutheran minister, a call and said, please, start praying.
Oh, Marty.
And it was a big help for us, just you could feel, God's Spirit lift us up.
And they've relied on that since then.
Thank you!
The city of Hoover and surrounding communities have rallied and supported the Abercrombies. And there's no doubt that support, those prayers, are still needed. Ben remains paralyzed from the neck down, but he's never given up. He works so hard every day to get better, with a work ethic many able-bodied people don't have.
My parents have a big thing, or a big reason with that, and my family, and my friends, and all the hope that people speak into me is great. Every morning we do range of motion after I eat, which keeps my flexibility and everything. And then I'm gonna take a shower, and typically I do rehab.
Ready and push.
The positive attitude that he's facing this, this huge challenge with every day, just makes us very proud. We have bad days and, but then you come down here and you see Ben's attitude and his smiling face and, just his, sense of humor and everything, and it kind of, kind of slaps you in the face and go, "Come on, Marty, come on, Sherry."
They know Ben's recovery will take even more time, but with hard work, new treatments every day, the goals are set.
Hopefully he can, breathe on his own again, step one, be able to use his hands again.
Since Ben wants to be back on campus at Harvard, the only way that can happen is if his mom goes with him. So the plan is Sherry will move to Harvard with Ben and live in the dorm.
The support I've gotten from my family, dropping everything to take care of me, and especially now that we're going back up to Harvard and my mom's going to live with me in the dorm.
Is that something you ever thought you'd say?
No, definitely not.
through it all, somehow, the Abercrombies have kept their sense of humor.
You know, he sees all his friends. You know, they'll be juniors in college this year, you know, and he's like, I'm going to be a 20-year-old freshman.
Yeah,
And,
with my mom.
with my mom, yeah, living in the dorm.
Some people may see this as an enormous sacrifice, but for Sherry, there was never a question to what she would do for Ben.
Still being on a ventilator and still needing, 24-hour assistance and care. Just the easiest thing would be for, someone who knows him, takes care of him every day to go with him and take care of him, and that is me.
Because Ben's diaphragm doesn't react yet on its own, and Ben still needs help breathing, from the dorm room to the classroom, Sherry will be there.
Because he's on a ventilator, so, he has to have someone there in case something were to happen.
Sherry is not only Ben's mom, but she's a professional nurse, which no doubt helps in her care for Ben.
My goal is to keep him as healthy as possible out of the hospital, and just help him do his exercise and things like that, so that when recovery does start happening, that, it'll be easier, it'll be quicker.
And for that, Ben is ready with an unbreakable spirit.
I mean, everything's looking up. It's all getting better, and eventually in time, through prayers and everything, I will be healed again.
It's that belief that keeps them going. And while life for the Abercrombies may never be like it was, toward the end of our conversation, Marty said the most amazing thing.
We're fortunate to be a part of this journey.
Fortunate to be part of Ben's journey. And here's why.
And you go back to, the first day, and we could have lost Ben that day, no doubt. I mean, a lot of parents have lost their kids. And we still have him.
And what a young man they have.
I'm still hopeful. I know pretty soon I'm gonna walk again. It's just I guess it's God's plan, and how long it's gonna take. I won't know until it happens.
They are some pretty remarkable people. The Abercrombies leave August the 26th, headed to Harvard. Between Sherry and Marty, they figure a combined 10 trips between Boston and Hoover every semester. People who are wanting to help in Ben's recovery and return to Harvard, the Ben Abercrombie Fund is still set up at the Christ the King Lutheran Church. You can go to ctkbham.org. But the family, more than anything, ask for your prayers. 7:41. Back in a moment.